don't usually close my bags with the paper clips that Gaffrey always sends. Thank you, Gaffrey, but I don't do what I'm supposed to. I'm sorry. And so I get little paint boogers, but that's okay. Not important right now. All right, so there's just kind of the sky. Also, by the way, I'm using these 2 palette knives and possibly more. I have a whole stack right here. We'll see what I end up using. And I'll try and link my supplies in the description if I'm able to find where I actually bought them, because some of them I don't remember how I acquired. And the trick here is to use very, very, very small amounts of blue, which I am usually not that good at, so we'll see if I hit it today. Ooh, I did. Look at me go. And so sometimes what I'll end up doing is I'll just like move it back and forth until it gets kind of mixed together here and kind of creates a nice soft background color. If that's what you're going for, obviously you can go for whatever you want. I am not here to tell you how to paint. I'm just here to show you what I do, and hopefully you gain some inspiration somewhere along the way to also do stuff like this. Everybody has different tastes, so I am not here to tell you mine is the way to go. And then sometimes I like to just put some straight white on top, and these will just kind of be my clouds, and I'll show you how I end up getting that, and I am just going for a very carefree look, so no worries. And today my sky is actually very pastel, so I don't get that full cloud effect, but that's okay. Maybe I'll do that a different day. And so this next part, so down here's where we're gonna have grass. Now the thing is that we're gonna cut through this paint to create grass. And so what you wanna do, if you want to do the same thing as I am doing, you're just going to put a little bit of white or whatever background color you want. And you can pull the sky all the way down if that's what you're into. I usually like to have my sky end about here through the middle, and kind of from here to here-ish is usually where my greenery is. And I'll show you why we put white here on the background. Alright, so I am feeling lazy, so what I'm going to do is use a piece of wax paper to do my palette, because I don't feel like washing anything extra when I'm done. Well, there's a bunch of ways you can do this. I also have palettes that I bought for paint mixing, but I don't feel like using them right now. I think I'll start with the yellow ochre first. And so I just have it right here. We don't need much. Don't get carried away. First, you're just gonna see what happens. And I don't do too many test drives, like over here, making marks and stuff. I usually just dive in and go for it. And I let art do its thing. And so I don't really like this yellow ochre color, but that's beside the point, because what we're trying to do is add colors and shades to provide more dimension. And so the reason I put the white down here is because now when I use this thinner paint, what happens is this drags it off the knife like so. And that's too much yellow already. So I'm going to start going in with the phthalo green. Phthalo green is like one of my favorite colors ever. I just bought like a whole bunch of it. And so what you could do is you could add different colors into the phthalo green, and you could get it to have a different shade if you wanted to. You can always add white, and that'll lighten it up. Also very important to clean your brush, well, clean your brushes too if that's what you're using, but clean your knives. Because once you go into the different color, and sometimes I do want my two colors to mix, and I might do a little bit of that today, but for this instance, I am going to just use my phthalo green. And you just kind of swipe it across. And I just like doing this because it's fun and relaxing. Also, I like to make leaves. And these are not scientific leaves or accurate in any way that I know. I'm just making stuff that makes me happy. And I hope you guys do the same. Alright. So what I'm seeing here is just, it's boring. It's very boring. So what am I going to do to zhuzh it up? Well, let me think about that for a moment, and we shall resume. And I do reuse my wax paper pieces from when I make flowers. And, sorry, it is not wax paper. It is parchment paper, and it's very, very important that you use parchment paper when you are creating flowers with this Gaffrey paint. And I don't think I have an example available right now, and I'm kind of going off on a tangent. We'll revisit that later. All right, so I've run into a small problem. This painting is calling out to me to be an orchid, and I don't know how to make an orchid, so we are going to wing it and see what happens, and hopefully good things happen. But I'm going to be using my round knife for this because I want to create a nice round petal. And this is usually the point where probably like a real trained artist or a professional would probably pull up a reference photo and go from that. But I'm just going to go off of my brain, and I'm going to see what happens. And I think today our orchid's going to be purple, because why not? And if I remember correctly, they have like 3 leaves. So 1, 2, 3. And then I think they have 3 in the center, and then the weird, I don't know, the weirdly shaped center pieces. We'll see what happens, and I'll see if I am able to explain that correctly so that it comes across. Look, and I know that orchids are, well, they're tropical flowers. They do not belong in an open field with grass. But this is my art. I'm going to do what I want. think I did that right. That's okay. So usually I think these are very big. There's 3 outward petals. That'll do for now. And you know what? Maybe it's just gonna be an orchid inspired shape. That's okay too. I just do what sparks joy and what brings my ideas to life. And I'm not really here to be accurate. I don't really think that matters. At least not to me for my art. If you are trying to do accurate florals, I am probably not the best person to ask, even though I have gardened so much. I'm sorry. I'm not cleaning my knife in between, and you can see colors are building up. And sometimes I do that intentionally because I want it to look cohesive. And so sometimes what I'll do is I'll let colors bleed through. There's not too much rhyme or reason to what I do. I do what I like to do, and I'm filming myself doing it, and hopefully you guys learn something from it or enjoy it in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. All right, let's do another one. Let's see. And this one's kind of, I'll set it back more by putting grass in front of it, but I want this to be more of a background flower to create depth. What you probably don't see is I have my trash can sitting over here, and I use the edge to scrape off the back of my knife, and it usually does a pretty decent job. So unless I'm trying to go for a super clean look, sometimes just scraping is okay too. A little dangerous. There's a big old bunch of green there. Right here. That's fine. What you can do also is just have hints of this color throughout the painting. You know, it can look like they're in the distance or at different angles. I mean, this is your world. Create whatever makes you happy. But I like to make it look as though there's endless, like, fields of these flowers behind it. And so that's why I'm just kind of creating more depth by adding these smaller ones. And I think I'll be adding another kind of flower as well. I just haven't decided yet because right now my eye is being drawn more up here, and I would like to have more attention to detail down here, if that makes sense. Maybe some orange would be good. Some yellow. I'm not sure. Let me look through my supplies and I will make a decision. Oh, I've got a nice coral, or Venetian pink, that's what it's called. Oh, and this would be a good opportunity to show how these work. And so these are not by Gaffrey, these are from cheapjoes.com. And they're real nifty little packets for when I don't feel like mixing up a color specifically. So I just screwed on the cap that has the little circle. Ooh. And I don't know how to use paint. Alright, so after I'm done making a mess, we shall resume. So these usually come with a pocket of air right here, and so when you squeeze it out, it causes a mess, and I always forget, so don't be like me in that area. I don't know what I'm going for here. I just feel like the painting needs a few dots. You can make them larger towards the front, smaller towards the back. You can add white if you want to add distance and you're making it here in the background, or you can just do like so. Well, now that I'm looking at that, I want more color. I don't know which one. Perhaps yellow. Let's see. I've got a lovely dark Naples yellow. So why don't we use this cap without cleaning it? It still has that pink on it. And I don't know. We'll start doing something in the center of these orchids. Maybe. And then we get like a really nice color melt. These are not orchid centers, I know. So, let's see. All right, so there's a few stuff. What if we use a piping bag and we add some, maybe we'll add some smaller, tinier grasses. So this is a tip that is very small. I don't know. There's no numbers or sizes on it. And I'll use the phthalo green again because that's what I used in the background. And I wasn't actually going to pipe much on this painting, but like I said, I usually just start and then I see what happens. Ooh, there's a lot of water in that one. Oh well. And so you can really just use it to add more dimension to the painting. Like so. Just it brings everything a little bit more together, I think. And then I also like to use this tip to sign it, so I'll just sign it right now. And, well, I like that, but let's see. Let's use a different tip. I don't know. Here's one that's got 3 tips lined up next to it, and it just creates more of a loose, grassy, I don't know, messy feel. All right, and that's it. That's a very simple, fun painting, and obviously you can use different colors if you would like to. This one is very simple. It's very calming, I think, and it's not, I don't know, it's not too complex. Alright, you guys, I hope you enjoyed painting with me today. And if you want to see more stuff like what I made today, let me know. Or if you want to see anything else, also just let me know. I'm chill.